comics need more female superheroes? A couple articles were written suggesting that yes, the problem with comics is there's not enough female superheroes. And is that true? Is there an absence? Is there a void that needs to be filled? Well, let's talk about that. Hey, everybody, this is Perch. I get this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm stammering all over the place. Suddenly, you ever have this where your brain just like gets three conflicting ideas all simultaneously, and then your mouth just doesn't know which way to go? Um, so this topic came up because first there was an article written saying we need more female characters in games. The problem with games is there's not enough female characters. There's a bunch of male characters, primarily white male characters, who are the main protagonist, and can we just get some more women as the main character? That is fine. The article had two parts to it, by the way. That game article. One part, to me is I agree with, and the other part I don't agree with. The part I agree with is like we need more female main characters in games. I mean, sure, why not? I would say across the board. You look at a lot of the games that are out there. Most of them absolutely are male protagonists. Now you can make the argument there's men playing these games. Maybe they don't want to play a female. I don't know, but more female heroes, more Laura Crofts, more Bayonettas, more Jill Valentine's, more Metroid or Samus. There's just sure you could have lots more. I'm open for it. Do I think anything should be mandated that people should be forced to make more female game characters? No, I think that's dumb. But if you can come up with some more, I mean, why not? Uncharted, for example, we had the Nathan Drake's daughter, started to explore that world, and do we want to do a Uncharted, whatever they're on now, five, a new Uncharted with the daughter as main character and a grown up bitch? It'd be great. I'll buy that. I'll play it all day long. Sounds good to me. But the other part of the article I disagreed with is we need to do this because it's unfair that there's male characters, that the fact that there's too many male characters means that women won't be able to play games, and it's bad for people somehow. And I just don't think people care that much. I think most people are like, is the character good or not? It's almost like the quality of the game, the quality of the character, what the character can do is paramount. And the actual the race, gender, sexuality, whatever it is about the character is kind of meaningless. I mean, Last of Us 2 is coming out, and they made a big deal to point out that the main character, Ellie, is that Ellie, I think, is gay or is a lesbian. And I mean, if the game is cool and good, like I liked The Last of Us, the first one, I thought it was a great game. I enjoyed it, played it all day long. If the second game has that kind of quality, I'm going to play it. The fact that it's a female character and she's lesbian, I mean, I don't care. It's a good game. And I go into games maybe too far because it relates to how I feel about comics. So this one article got written, and then some other articles get written that kind of tag on to the game article going, yeah, in addition to games, we need more female superheroes. Why can't we have more female superheroes? I'm hoping for the day where Marvel publishes nothing but female superheroes. And that, by the way, I'm not making up that last one. That was somebody's suggestion. It's like, I mean, why is that a goal? I don't really understand why that was a goal. There was never a case where Marvel Comics published nothing but male superheroes. Never. I mean, you always had, from the Fantastic Four to the Avengers. Now, is the comment that we want all the teams in the comics that Marvel makes to be led by women? Is that the goal? I mean, okay. I don't particularly care if you want to make that your goal, as long as the stories are good. I mean, if you want to have, put it this way, if you want to have the X-Men and you want to have a Chris Claremont run title and he's got Storm as a leader, I'm showing up for that. Make no mistake about it. I'm there. That sounds like a great book. I'm excited to read it just thinking about it. Sounds great. You want to have the Fantastic Four, you want to do a storyline where Reed kind of becomes, obsessive like he was during the Hickman run, and Sue Storm becomes kind of the leader of the Fantastic Four because Reed is cracking up. All right, that sounds good. I mean, again, if the writer's good, if it's Dan Slott writing that, I'm a little dubious. But if Hickman's doing that, then cool, I'm in for it. The Avengers. I mean, we had Captain Marvel, the Monica Rambeau version, leading the Avengers. That was probably my favorite run of the Avengers in its history. So I think the you'll see a common theme in everything I'm saying. I keep going over and back to which is I don't, you can't win in volume. So this is my problem with a lot of these articles is like we need more female superheroes. No, I disagree. I don't think you need more female superheroes. I think you need to make the ones you have great. Make every one that you have today count. Marvel as a publishing house, same thing with DC. But pick up the Women of Marvel book. I'm not sure that's what it's called. I think it's Empowered, or there's a couple books they've done. There's like three or four, where it's like a glossary, visual dictionary of the female Marvel superheroes. And what you will notice if you pick it up and you've read Marvel comics for any length of time are two things. One, it's a big book. They've got like tons of female characters in there, lots of them. There's no shortage of them. And then two, if you're a longtime reader, you'll go, hey, they've forgotten many of them. There's all these characters in there. It's like, where's this character? Where's that character? The books are different. There's been a few written by different people. So I remember one kind of didn't have Monica Rambeau in it at all. The other one did. And so they're kind of all over the place in terms of what they feature. But the key point is here, there's a lot. There's enough to fill, you could fill every single current team that exists in the Marvel Universe with nothing but female characters and still have plenty left over. So to me, the challenge is no, I don't think we need more. I think we need to make the ones we have amazing. You take a look at, was it Jim Zub, who did The Champions? And you see that there's a lot of new characters he's created, and a lot of them are female women characters, kid, women, whatever. There's a lot of female characters in that book. And my feeling is that in 3 to 4 years, these characters are all going to be vanished. Like nobody will have ever heard of them anywhere. We've got some of the kind of China-based characters that are coming out as Marvel tries to appeal that market. And again, the feeling is that most of these characters will disappear. Like I just don't feel like in 5 to 10 years any of them will be around anymore, and we'll be doing new ones. And I say that because we had Young Avengers, or we have Avengers Academy, and there are all these really cool characters being created all over the place. The Taskmaster's daughter, it was amazing of a character. I mean, just finesse. I think I liked that character. I thought a lot of cool things you could do with it. And she's, where is she now? Who knows? Arguably, you have a female character that's one of the smartest battle tacticians on the planet, and that would be a pretty cool character I think you'd want to feature. But these people just vanish. So that's my issue with a lot of these articles is they talk about we need to create more or we need to add volume, and I don't get it. I don't get that you do need to add volume. I think the argument actually is you need to do more with what you have. You're squandering a great library of female talent today. So stop cranking out new ones and start making the ones you have amazing. And then if the ones you make are amazing and they're taking over titles and they're leading, and we've got an Avengers team with like 7 women and one man on it, cool. If it's written well, again, cool, all day long. I don't. When I say that sometimes on Twitter, people are like, we know what you really mean. We know you really hate all the women. It's like, no, I want good stories. I don't care the gender, the race, sexual. I don't care who's in them. Just give me some good stories. And I think if you surveyed comic readers, I think you would find a massive percentage, like 90% or more. 9 out of 10 comic readers are going to say the exact same thing. If the character is good, if the writing is great, who cares? Nobody is going to care. It's only when the writing is terrible, which, by the way, can happen with women characters, female characters, male characters, straight, gay. Every character has the opportunity to be awful. And we see that opportunity being taken advantage of on a regular basis. So I guess I just get back to write good characters and it all sorts itself out. The weird thing about comics, and to some extent games, although I will loop back to that in a second, but the weird thing about comics is, generally speaking, I don't think comics has had a giant, white male problem with the characters unless you choose to look at the data and what's being produced very, very selectively. The X-Men for big portions of its time, once you got to giant size X-Men #1 and you got past the original Stan Lee, Marvel Girl and Four Dudes team, in general, it was fairly split in terms of both ethnic and gender ratio in the team. And many cases during the X-Men's history, women either outnumbered the men or were certainly featured more prominently. I mean, Jean Grey is the Phoenix, Rachel Summers, Storm. A lot of these characters were proven, powers or no powers, to be complete badasses. Often, far more than the men were. That's just one comic. And sure, I mean, you could say, oh, he's cherry picking. There's plenty of comics that were dude based, but I mean, you look at the big ones. And Avengers had a strong female presence in the comic. X-Men, again, strong female presence. Fantastic Four, one woman, three guys, but the woman was pretty consistently shown. Again, after we get out of the '60s and early '70s, the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, was pretty consistently shown to be the one who could murder them all in their sleep if she felt like it. I don't think comics has had quite the problem that sometimes people present, and I think there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of clickbait that people can do by wanting to kind of push this narrative that women have been kind of held back and it's been a male dominated kind of sport or not sport but industry. And I just don't think that's the case if you just look panel by panel at what's happened. I just, to me, again, maybe I'm missing something, who knows. Games are different. I think games keep waffling back and forth between, are we going to feature women or are we not going to feature women? And the outrage seems to come either way. It's like, we're going to feature a woman in this game. All right. Oh, we don't like what she's wearing. Okay, we'll cover her up then. Oh, well, now she's written in a stereotypical bad way. Okay, well, we'll put a man in there instead. Oh, don't do that. We need that woman in there. It just seems like it's a constantly moving target as to what you're supposed to do. And like I said at the beginning, give me good games, give me good comics, give me good movies. I could care less. I don't sit there with like a little notebook out going, okay, I've played 8 games this week and 3 of them had men and 2 of them had women and 3 of them had some kind of weird alien creature. Can't tell. There was a robot in there. Oh, that was 9 games. I'm counting wrong. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Let me think what you think. And I'm just curious. I really want to hear. I always want to hear from the people who severely disagree with me. Who's like, nope, you've got it wrong. There's sexism on display here. Games are part of the problem. We've got to fix them. We've got to blow them up. Let's do it. Please help me understand, because I'm missing it. When I read the articles, I see the stuff on Twitter. I see stuff linked over. Nobody is explaining exactly kind of what they mean, and I will listen to you in good faith. I want to learn. I want to be educated. Please educate me, because just at the moment it's not adding up. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't add up. So I'd like to know what you're thinking and what you're after. And I really always appreciate it, by the way, when people come in and say, my goal is to eliminate all men from games. I mean, cool. Okay, thank you. You said something straightforward and you've laid out what you're after, and I think it's insane, but I appreciate the honesty. I really do. Great. That's all I'm saying. Hey, like, subscribe if you don't mind. Follow me on Twitter at Comic Perch. Anything you want to throw my way, I'm happy to do it. Happy to make these videos and answer your questions. Thanks for listening.